The word trolling gets thrown around a lot in this conflict, and I'm guilty of it too. I call a lot of deception operations or psychological warfare trolling, but I think this video is perhaps the truest, purest, most emblematic military trolling that I've ever seen. So let's get into it. Now, this is a Ukrainian drone strike on a Russian train, supposedly carrying some of its caliber cruise missiles. Just a heads up to the YouTube censor, I'm going to be censoring out anything even vaguely resembling violence. But as you guys know, YouTube cracking down on these videos pretty seriously. So if you want to support the channel, of course, and get all of my YouTube videos, plus access to exclusive videos that YouTube won't let me show you, you want to go now to combatvetnews.com. Combatvetnews.com has all of my YouTube videos as well as members-only content where I break down all the videos YouTube won't let me show you. Plus, we're bringing in the archive from Patreon, who recently booted me off their platform. All right, let's get back into it. Okay, so you can see that this is some phone footage, and that is this Russian train depot being hit, supposedly full of caliber cruise missiles. But it's just infrastructure being targeted. Still, this is probably something that Ukrainian civilians deal with all the time. They know that it's targeting a rail yard. But wait, here's the crazy part, is that they've actually recovered some of the Ukrainian drones fuselage. And as you can see, it's got some messages for Russian forces. That's right. Someone painted the troll face onto this drone strike. And the crazy part is that explosion that we saw, this troll survived it. Truly being able to withstand literally all of those caliber missiles. And literally all it did was smudge the paint a little. That's it. That's what it did. Now, you may be asking yourself, why? Let's watch one more. On the internet, anyone can find almost anything, including, unfortunately, your full legal name, personal email address, phone number, home address, even your relatives. I looked up my mom's name, and she barely uses the internet, and it still had a lot of personal information, accessible by anyone. It was really unnerving. That information is accessible because data brokers profit from selling information about you to telemarketers, spammers, robocallers, and anyone that wants to learn about you. That's why I wanted to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your data and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. You can use my link, aura.com/combat, to try 2 weeks for free and see how many data brokers are sharing your information. The link is also in the description, or you can scan the QR code. Aura automatically monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in a data breach or exposed on the dark web, and gives you recommendations of what to do. Aura confirmed that my personal data was exposed during the Equifax hack several years ago, and that it's out on the dark web. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and protects your devices from malware. Aura has almost every internet safety tool you need all inside one app. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. If you sign up now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link. You'll be shocked at how much of your private information Aura might find exposed over those 2 weeks. Go to aura.com/combat to start your free trial, or check out the link below, or scan the QR code. You can see this looks like standard markings, and there we go. We've got one more, of course. Pained a laughing face. Gotta love it. Now, why would you do this? Here's the thing. There's a couple of reasons that a military may want to do add this psychological element to a strike. One is to demoralize the enemy, to not just make it appear that you're able to strike the enemy at any place at any time, which is itself demoralizing, but it can also be a additionally psychological if you appear to do so with minimal stress or fears or worry. And this sort of, by posting these symbols on these drones, that they're sending a message. Ukraine is sending a message that not only is this easy, this is sort of stupidly easy for us. And that itself can be fairly demoralizing, especially in this case, right, where the drone strike is highly effective. And there's truly, using a, let's say a $100,000 drone to take out several $1 million worth of military munitions that would have been used against civilian targets, it truly is a great troll move. And reminding the enemy of this fact can be huge. But here's the thing. Even if these weren't recovered, it would still be worth it, simply because for the Ukrainian forces, it can feel really hard, obviously. And I know it, especially as a veteran of the war in Afghanistan, where very, very often your enemy contact would not be in a direct, shoot 'em up firefight. Those were really rare. For every one firefight, there was 25 or more IEDs. These are improvised mines, is the best way to think of them. So you would never see the enemy. They would simply detonate under your vehicle and destroy a vehicle, potentially hurt a soldier or an allied soldier. And you would have this frustration of having to, having your vehicles destroyed or soldiers hurt from an enemy you couldn't see or touch. It's incredibly frustrating and incredibly demoralizing. And Ukrainians are experiencing this. Russia's using a lot of their own cruise missiles and drone strikes from Iran to target civilian infrastructure. And by doing so, right, you can feel pretty helpless. And Ukrainian air defenses have become a lot more effective at detecting and stopping some of these strikes, but it still is a frustrating feeling. And so anything you can do to allow your soldiers, allow your armed forces to take back their agency, to feel like they are somehow able to influence the outcomes, is huge. And so not only is it obviously by actually launching these drone strikes, but by personalizing the drones, you're giving those individual soldiers a chance to feel like they have marked or moved personally and done something to stop the strikes against themselves that may seem like they simply manifest from the sky. And so this sort of trolling is effective both for the trolled, in this case Russia, but also the troller. Just like it's just the exact opposite of being a troll in the comments, right? They don't do it to, mess with me. They do it to make themselves feel better somehow. Maybe they're Russian trolls who are doing it to get paid, or just a sad, lonely person who's just angry. But the inverse can also be true, right? Not only does their trolling hurt Russia and demoralize Russia, but it can boost the morale of the Ukrainians. So that's why you're seeing this epic trolling straight out of the early 2000s. I just love it. Anyway, guys, thanks as always to our sponsor, Aura, and I will see you guys in the next one.